Hi, everybody. Welcome to the last webinar in our Strategize My Life month. We're glad to see you back. I'm Michelle Wild.
I'm Christy.
We are finishing up our Strategize My Life month. So we've had a three-part series, How Strategize My Life Can Help You Organize Strategies and De-Stress. And today the emphasis is actually going to be on how to find the right strategy in a pickle. And we'll tell you why we chose that name as we go through the process.
We here at Best want to teach people living with cognitive challenges to take back control and rebuild their lives using the best tool. I am a brain injury survivor, and today I'm going to be sharing how to organize and find strategies using Strategize My Life tool. Strategize My Life is one of the tools that is part of the Best Suite app.
Very good. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So today, again, is our last Tuesday together. We have Thanksgiving here in the States next week, so we won't be having a webinar next week. But the following week will be the first week in December. And basically what we're going to be doing is transitioning to a new tool or different tool within the Best Suite, and that is called Queue My List. If you currently have the Best Suite, you're probably seeing a tool that says My Checklist. And by December 1st, we're going to update the app, and the My Checklist app is going to convert over to something called Queue My List, and it's going to have some new features to it. So we are excited to share that with you. We're going to give you a few little insights today before we leave, but we hope that you'll join us next month for Queue My List month. We have
Michelle, could you share with them, with our audience, if they have and are using My Checklist, does everything change or do they lose information?
Yeah, you won't lose anything. In fact, everything will be basically the same. One of the things that we're going to be doing is we will be actually splitting out. Queue My List will become its own standalone app as well as be part of the Best Suite. So I'll explain more about that as we get into Queue My List month. But just be aware that we are making some changes to it, and we're really excited about them. We think it will help a lot of people. So I'll give you a little bit more detail as we get towards the end of the webinar today, but we are excited about it. So we hope that you'll join us. We have some great Q&A videos this week for you from Dr. Trainer and Dr. Balesi. How do you organize strategies? Dr. Trainer does a great job of even sharing some of her own strategies with you. So I think that'll be a great video for you to watch if you haven't seen it yet. Dr. Balesi talks about how to integrate strategies into your life. And that really is a challenge for a lot of people. And we're hoping that Strategize My Life can help with that challenge. Dr. Trainer then talks about, do you need to use new strategies after brain injury? Do the old strategies work? What's that all about? And so we talk about that. And then we have an interesting outtake with Dr. Trainer where we talk a little bit more about things associated with that idea of using new strategies or the need to use new strategies. We have blog posts every Monday, thanks to some of our volunteers at Best, Yashar and Laura do some great blog posts for us, and Ann Ricketts from the UK has done a couple of guest blogs for us this month, so we're very excited about that. And then, of course, Laura is our social media extraordinaire, and so you can expect to see some great social media posts. Another thing that I wanted to mention is we are downloading these webinars. We are captioning them so that we can put them on our website. And so we'll be sending out some emails to people just to let you know we actually have all of Pace My Day month ready to go. It's all captioned, and I'll be adding some information to the Pace My Day page as it relates to that. So if you missed some of the webinars, you'll be able to catch them in future months. So we're excited about being able to do that. And that's all thanks to Steve and Yashar and Patty and a whole bunch of other people who are helping out at Best. So thank you again to everybody for what you're doing. Christy, take it away.
I don't know, Michelle, is there a way to put us somewhere off the screen?
Sure. You want to make that large? There you go.
Yeah, there we go. We can see everything. So do you struggle like I do finding the right strategy when you need one? I have a list here of occasions where I've needed to find a strategy about note taking. Do you need strategies when you're in a class or when taking notes or in a webinar, a meeting, on the phone with someone, in a doctor's appointment, talking to a tech support person? Here you can see that I have a list of strategies in on the right side from an image from the Strategize My Life app, and it just shows some of the strategies that I have created for note taking. And then you can see from note taking, I've got some of the topics such as the class, webinar, meetings, etc. And then on Pace My Day, I've that section, that column, I have categories where I might need these strategies. And later on, we'll show you exactly how we do this, but I just wanted to say that, do you struggle finding strategies when you need them? In this case, note taking. Go ahead to the next slide.
Sure. So one thing I just want to add here is one of the things Christy is showing in this particular image is the idea that Strategize My Life actually integrates with Pace My Day and actually all the other tools within the Best Suite. And so we're going to try and show that to you later, but I really appreciate the fact that she tried to illustrate that here. And it's a really interesting feature of our particular app. Go right ahead.
So, Strategize My Life can help you store many helpful strategies. One can generalize a strategy to be used in many situations, for instance, different events or people or times and places. It's extremely helpful to attach notes of information to strategies, such as who and where and when to use them. Specific strategies are easy to find when you use Strategize My Life. You can use the search tool that's built in the strategy tool itself, so you can find these tools that find the strategies when you need them. Strategies, like Michelle said earlier, can be integrated with other best tools such as Pace My Day, like I just showed you, but we also have Reach My Goals and Complete My To-Dos. And we'll get into that much later in other webinars. So when you use Strategize My Life, there are a few ways to find strategies because the Strategize My Life tool helps you organize strategies as you put them in. Now, for instance, here, like we've covered earlier in earlier webinars, here's a list of strategy groups. Now, strategy groups are one way of organization, but using keywords and tags are another way of organization to find a strategy. In this first box, you can see a list that we have as a sample of strategy groups, such as memory, social, note-taking, organizing, and emergencies.
You can also use keywords or tags to help you kind of create another level of organization within the Strategize My Life tool. So for instance, you might use a tag called worksheets that would apply to many different strategies across a variety of different strategy groups. You might have tags such as parties, medical. One idea that came to mind that I was just working with today is if you had a strategy group called technology, let's say that you had some technology strategies that you had listed, and some of them may be tagged with iOS, meaning those are for your iPhone or your iPad, etc. Some of them might be tagged as Android, or some of them might be tagged as your Mac. And so what you do, and you'll see in just a few minutes, is you type in that particular tag and you'll be able to find those particular strategies that apply to that tag across the entire Strategize My Life tool.
Now here, before we start, Michelle, I wanted to invite people to open up their app and the Best Suite app and find Strategize My Life, and they can follow along with us.
Okay, perfect. So if you have Strategize My Life, go ahead and open that up. Now, you won't have the strategies that we have listed here, obviously, but you can sort of follow along with us. Basically, what we wanted to do is we wanted to show you right now we're in a strategy group. It's called Note Taking, and we have a variety of strategies listed. If you recall from the last webinar, you can add as many strategies as you want that would fit within a strategy group. You can also rate the strategies, so you can see that Christy has here a lot of strategies that are rated. I know these are Christy's strategies because they have emojis in front of every single one of them, and she's the emoji queen. But basically what you can do is, we can see here that there's a lot of strategies. One of the things that we can do from the strategies screen is we can go up here to the tag and the title search. We can actually type in a tag that we might have remembered using. In the example that I used earlier, it was iOS or something like that. Or you can actually use a keyword from your title of the strategy that you've identified. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to help you find a particular strategy that either uses that tag or that title within that particular group. This is primarily relevant when you have a whole lot of strategies that, go way beyond what you can see on the screen at one time. And so this can be very, very helpful in that respect. We also have what we call a search tab, and that's located at the very bottom of the screen. You can see it's got a red box on it in the first image. And we still have the same tag and title search up at the top. We have a red arrow pointing to that tag and title search. This is a little bit different because in this particular case, you are searching the entire tool itself. So everything across all of the groups in Strategize My Life. The previous example, I just want to make, because I think I might have misspoke. The previous example where we were within a strategy group, you're only searching within that group itself. If you use the search tab, you're actually searching across all groups within the Strategize My Life tool. And that can be very helpful. The name of our webinar today has to do with, finding the right strategy in a pickle. And one of the things that you don't want is you don't want to need a strategy and not know where to find it. So by having these search features built into the Strategize My Life tool, it actually allows you to find information very, very quickly. So if I were to type in color here in the tag and title search, you would see that color code similar things pops up because the word color is here. So you can use any tag word that you might have used or any part of a title of an actual strategy, and that's going to identify that and bring that up within that strategy search. We wanted to make sure that people were able to find the information that they needed when they needed it and not waste a lot of time trying to flip through pages or flip through screens of information in order to find what they might need. We're also going to show you this concept of integrating Strategize My Life with Pace My Day. So hopefully you saw the Pace My Day month webinars last month. If not, again, we'll be posting those soon. But basically, Pace My Day is an opportunity for you to track your energy, the activities that you do throughout the day, and monitor how you're feeling, etc. So in this particular case, this is one of the task screens within the Pace My Day tool. And you'll notice that it says Manage Strategies. Right now, we don't really have any strategies that have been associated with, in this case, meetings. So if I were to tap on the Manage Strategies button, I don't think you can see my cursor, but it's a big blue button right there underneath the gray box. If you were to tap on that, it would bring up the second screen here. You'll notice up at the top of the second screen, it says Meetings, so that I know I'm in that same task. And towards the bottom, it indicates strategy groups. So if I wanted to, I could tap on note-taking, and that would bring up a list of all of my note-taking strategies. So I can see all the strategies that Christy had entered in for note-taking. What I would do then is I would swipe on the strategy that I was interested in or that I thought would help me, in this case with my meetings, and I would assign that strategy. And you'll notice once you go through the sequence, now in that very same box, the gray box that was empty, it now gives me a strategy that comes directly from Strategize My Life. I will make a point of noticing here that we have a plus sign up on the top of the Strategize My Life screen. You can actually add strategies at this point if you wanted to, if there were no strategies that really seemed relevant. We've tried to make it easy for you to add things from various locations so that you don't have to go in and out of the various tools. We only show one strategy here. You could have 2 or 3 strategies listed for meetings. And the idea is you would see the strategies, you would sort of prepare to use those strategies before you actually, in this case, maybe go into a meeting. So you'd have your outline already created, you'd have it formatted so that you're better prepared when you actually get into the meeting in order to then be able to absorb the information. So that becomes a really important component of the Strategize My Life tool and how it integrates with Pace My Day.
Michelle, I wanted to circle back for just a minute when you were talking about finding strategies and you commented about me using emojis. I wanted people to know that if you wanted to, you can also search by an emoji. So that that is really helpful also.
Yeah, that makes it really, so if you use a pencil emoji for a bunch of different strategies, if you search for the pencil, it would show all those strategies that had that in the title. So very good information.
So we want to talk to you about our campaign that we have this month, and we're probably going to continue it a little bit next month, but we're going to continue adding things to our list for the holiday and COVID strategies. This week, we're adding make lists and prioritize the most important activities. Take a breather and make some time for yourself. Spending about 15 minutes alone without distractions will help you kind of center yourself. For the COVID strategies, keep people circulating and limit extended exposures between individuals. And one of our people on our staff helped us thought of this one: make personalized masks for friends and family. Thank you, Patty, for that addition.
Yeah, that's a great one. I'm not sure I could personalize them, but I think it's a great idea.
You can always use squishy paint, those
That's
little.
true.
Speaking of that, go to our bestconnections.org website to see how our list is growing with helpful strategies for the holiday season and COVID. Here is a image of our latest one, and we'll continue adding them as they come. And I just wanted to give you a little sample of what is on just to give you a cue to go look on our website for this great list.
Yeah, and this list, by the way, is located on the Strategize My Life Month page. So if you go to our homepage and you click on Strategize My Life Month, towards the bottom, you'll see a link that will take you to this page. And this is something that we hope will be useful for you and that you could also at some point in time print out or download if you wanted to. As you can see, we've gotten so many now that we started to categorize them a little bit, and that can be very helpful, I think, also. So we're finishing up November in terms of it being Strategize My Life Month. Remember, you're still going to be getting a couple of emails from us. Laura will still be putting out her social media stuff, and lots of other things will be going on, but we're not going to have webinars next week or a webinar next week due to the holiday. But we would love for you to share your strategies with us. As Christy just said, there's a link that you can click on that Strategize My Life Month page. It's just a quick form. You can put your name in there if you want, but we'd love to get your suggestions so that we can help people. We'd also love for you to register for the Queue My List webinar series, which is going to start in December. I don't quite have that page up yet, but if you go to our website sometime early next week, you'll see that there will be a reference to Queue My List month, and it will take you to that page, and you can register for the webinars at that point. I'm going to share a little bit more about Queue My List in just a minute, but I did want to announce the winner this week for Strategize My Life Month is going to be Lauren. So Lauren, if you will reach out to me or I'll send you an email, I would love to send you a redeem code for the best suite. And if you have it already and you're using it, we would absolutely love for you to pay it forward and maybe to share the redeem code with someone else. So we were very excited last week with the winners and have sent out the the codes and have been communicating. So we're really excited about that.
Michelle, I have somebody here in the chat saying, can you write out that information that you just spoke about so we can find it later? Are you talking about the COVID, Beck, are you talking about the COVID list? I'm assuming that's on our bestconnections.org website. It's listed here again. Visit our website, bestconnections.org, in the middle box, gray box. That's the website. And if you go into the website, there'll be a thing that says Strategize My Life Month. And then within that, a little bit later, scroll down a little bit and it'll say something about the strategies for the holidays. And it's a link, and then that way you'll be able to see it later. So
I think the neat thing about the list is that that's really coming from our volunteers at Best and from others. So it's a great list because these are practical strategies that people are actually using. So thank you again for sharing that with us.
Again, watch our Q&A videos with Dr. Penny Traylor and Julia Bellesi. We update them weekly, and we're going to continue. We'll have new videos next month with Q My List, and we'll be keeping in touch with you via emails and social media. Please share our information with your friends, and please continue to add and send us new strategies. That would be great. And if you have any more, since this is our last class, feel free that if you have any questions to reach out to us, but also take our online training at bestconnections.org. Wait, no, that's not it.
Yeah, you can get a link to our training at bestconnections.org. And remember that the online training is really the mechanics. What we're trying to do in the webinars is gives you a little bit better background as to what's in the tools and how, not so much how it works, but why it's there, and a little bit more background. So we had this quote from John: "Strategize My Life helps me keep my strategies organized and easy to find." So we appreciate that. We thought that was a great one for today's webinar. And we would love for you to consider giving the Best app as a holiday gift, whether it's a Christmas gift or a Hanukkah present, etc. We would love to have more people trying to use the app. It's currently $9.99. It's in the App Store. And if you look for it, you want to look under Best, B-E-S-T, Suite, S-U-I-T-E. And this is the icon for it. And our graphics extraordinaire, Shandy, made this beautiful bow for the holiday season. So thanks for that. And then before we leave today, I wanted to spend just a couple minutes talking to you about December and the fact that it's going to be Q My List month. This is the icon for the new version of the My Checklist app, which we're renaming now to be Q My List. The Q My List app or tool is something that you can use to keep track of your shopping list. It can be something to keep track of books that you might want to read or movies that you might want to watch. Netflix shows that you might want to binge watch, all sorts of different things. You can also use it as a way of doing a morning routine. So it's essentially a checklist that you could find in lots of other places perhaps. But in addition to a basic checklist, we also allow you to create headings so that you can then begin to divide your Netflix shows into sci-fi shows that you want to watch versus romances that you might want to watch or comedies. So we have another level of complexity that we've included. And then on top of that, the whole idea behind the queuing mechanism is you can actually set times for each of the individual activities that you have in your checklist, and you can give yourself a particular time to work on that and then to move on to something else. So for instance, if you were doing a which books you want to read list, you wouldn't use the queuing system. But if you had a morning routine that you wanted to create, it might be to make your coffee and to read the newspaper, but you often spend more time reading the newspaper, and then that puts you behind schedule. You can actually use Cue My List to prompt you to, after 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever amount of time you decide, it will actually allow you, or it will prompt you to move on to the next thing. So Cue My List is kind of three things in one. It's a basic checklist. It's a modified checklist in terms of being able to categorize things. And then it's got a very interesting queuing system. So we found that it's helpful for individuals with brain injury, mild injuries, moderate injuries. We also have been told that it can be helpful for a lot of other populations, such as autism, and just individuals that have potential issues with initiation. So we're very excited about the Cue My List tool that's going to become part of the Best Suite. And as I mentioned, we're going to separate just Cue My List out of the Best Suite app, and it will be a standalone. So we'll talk more about that next month as we address the Cue My List tool. We would love to see if there's any questions. I don't see any questions in the question area, but if you have questions, please feel free to type them into the questions area. It should be just below where Christy and I are located on your screen.
We need to come back.
What was that?
I said, we need to come back. We're not on it anymore.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me pull us back up here so you can see us. There you go. So if you have any questions, we would love to answer your questions. I think that hopefully this will be helpful for you. I see that Beck was saying that addressed, because I got lost. I'm not sure if you want to, maybe you were talking to Laura in terms of her giving you the direct URL for your question. So if that's the case, that's great. If not, please feel free. We'll be around for a couple minutes. If you have any questions, we're happy to be here. Please sign up for Cue My List Month, and we'll send out an email to everyone that's been involved in the webinar so far, just to let you know when that page is up and running for your registration. Cue My List Month will only be 3 weeks again in terms of webinars, because we're going to have the Christmas holiday and the Hanukkah holidays coming about, and so we'll only do 3 webinars, but we're excited to introduce you to the new Cue My List tool. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to write them out. If not, it was great to see everyone. Thanks to those of you that have continued to join us each week for the webinars. We really appreciate that. And Lauren, if you will reach out to me, I will definitely get you the redeem code for the Best Suite. If there's no questions, we'll go ahead and let you go. We thought that this would be about 30 minutes, and we were just about on track, so that's good.
Happy Thanksgiving for those of you that live in the U.S., and please stay safe, and we'll see you next month.
Yeah, use some of our strategies that we've posted. Hopefully they'll be helpful for you. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great weekend, couple weeks. We'll see you in the very beginning of December. Bye-bye.
Bye. December 1st.
December 1st. Thanks, Christy.